Hello everyone, welcome to episode 25 of BrickSide Chat. And Chris from Great Brick Lab asked if we could do something special for this, and I couldn't come up with anything, so unfortunately there's nothing special for episode 25, but maybe episode 50 we'll come up with something special for. So 25 more weeks and we'll get there. But we have a good amount of questions this week. We'll get straight into them. First one from NWZR. I have my own BrickLink store, and I've started doing a free promo. Is this a good idea? They can get free items, minifigs, windows, bricks, etc. I'm just trying to get people to use an order on BrickLink. So personally, from my perspective, I don't think necessarily doing a free promo would be worth it. You're technically losing money there when you're handing out free minifigs, free parts, whatever it is. And the likelihood, in my opinion, of a person going to your store over someone else's store because you have this free promo is very low, I believe. What I would recommend is doing something along the lines of free shipping. So if they spend $20 or more in your store, you will ship it to them for free. Do something like that as opposed to a free minifig, because the likelihood of them wanting that minifig is pretty low. The likelihood of them wanting free shipping, on the other hand, everyone wants free shipping. So I would say instead of a promo, do free shipping or something like that. That might get more people to come to your store as opposed to going to other stores. Next couple questions are from Kevin, who says, about how many parts on average is best for a new store? And that's a hard question because there's no right answer to that. And I think I've kind of talked about this in the past, when people are like, what do I need to be considered a great store? What do I need to get sales every day? All those kinds of things. It's hard. So how many pieces is good for a new store? I would say 5,000 parts. Once you get to 5,000, I think, as long as it's not 5,000 of the same piece, obviously, then you can branch out and you can kind of, go find other parts and add things to your store. Once you hit 5,000, you, in theory, can be getting sales that can then go to purchase another item or another set that you then part out in your store, whatever that ends up being, or more bulk used Lego, whatever that is. Kevin asked, how much do you think someone would need to invest to start their store? And that's a really hard question. We invested a good amount right from the beginning, and that's why we were able to grow to like 100,000 parts in just a couple months. It's really hard to say one number that you need to invest to start your store. And really, you could start it with any amount. What we did was like upwards of $5,000. That included drawers, that included all the shipping supplies, like all the stuff that we hadn't had set up, that included. So that wasn't for stock alone or inventory alone. And obviously the drawers cost a lot. Shipping supplies add up, all these things add up over time. So for parts, we probably spent like maybe $3,000, and that's how we were able to get to like 100,000 pieces really quickly. How much should you invest to start your store? I'd say if you could set aside like $1,000 or like $800 to $1,000 when you're ready to, go full throttle on BrickLink, that's probably a good start. But you don't need to by any means. You can do it with any amount of money, really. You don't, it just depends how fast you want to grow through your store, which kind of comes into our next question. DC Bricks asks, how can you start a BrickLink store with a budget of $40? So this is a little difficult, I think, when you have a budget of $40. But one thing you could do potentially would go with the used sector or the used side of BrickLink. Don't get into new with $40 because you're going to buy maybe 2 sets, 3 sets maybe with $40, and now you might have 250 lots in your store, maybe 500 parts, but that's it. You don't have any more than that. So your 500 pieces, your 50, 60, whatever, however many lots. What did I say? 200 lots? I don't know. However many lots you have in your store with 500 pieces isn't going to get you very far. It's not going to help branch out. But if you go buy one thing of used Lego for, try to go $5 a pound or so, and you go buy 10 pounds of used Lego or 8 pounds of used Lego, you get $40 there. You might add a decent amount of lots to your store, like hundreds of lots, because each piece is going to be individual, and you might get those few special pieces that people are going to want to buy. So I would say if you have a budget of $40 to start a BrickLink store, which is about what I started years ago. I had a really small BrickLink store. I had 2 stack-ons initially and 1 bulk used thing from eBay, and that's all it was. And I got each piece and I listed all of them, and they sold over time. But the key is, I think, as you sell that, you need to put all of that money that you make from BrickLink right back into the store to continue expanding. But you could start with a $40 investment if you really want. It'll be really hard. It'll be slow as well. But go with the used Lego. Don't get new Lego. That's not the way to go. And Assist Official says, how do you price your parts and sets? I look at the average 6-month sales on BrickLink, but see different prices all the time. I really don't know how to price my sets and parts. So if we're also going back to DC Brick's question, when you start a store with $40, you're not going to be able to sell them at the 6-month sales average. Likelihood of people coming to your store is very low. So lower your prices just a little bit. Now you have a higher chance of people getting there. Answering Assist Official's question, we price all of our parts at the 6-month sales average. And then from there, we'll sometimes it goes on sale, we'll take the sale off, whatever it might be, but we price them all at the 6-month sales average, and we update them every 2 weeks or so. If you go with the current sales average, that number is going to be higher, and that might be where it's a little bit confusing. Current sales average is the parts that are currently listed and the average of that. So people list stuff super high just because they want to, or because they have a bigger store and they can. So current items for sale average is usually higher. And I wouldn't list it at that just because some prices are way over the top and other prices are maybe way low. So look at things, how it's been sold. The past 6-month sales average is what it's been sold in the past 6 months. So you know that it'll sell at that price. So that's how we price all of our parts. Now, kind of again, going into DC Brick's question, but answering Dylan Harrison's question is, what percentage of your profits do you tend to reinvest in stock? So right now, we're not paying ourselves. We do have obviously utilities, expenses and stuff, shipping supplies, paying ourselves back, all those kind of things that do get paid to us and to other people and stuff. But other than that, all the profit on top of the expenses goes right back into the stock. Or potentially could be more drawers, things like that. But we're always investing back in our store so we can continue growing. Right now, we're not paying ourselves. We're not trying to have a ridiculous amount of expenses if we don't need to. So all the money goes right back into the store so that we're able to continue growing. And DC Bricks, back at the $40 budget, if you start with $40, when you make a sale for $5, that $5 needs to go back into your store so that you're able to keep building your inventory and stuff there. Definitely that's extremely important. You need to continue adding parts to your store. But yeah, 100% of profits goes right back to the store. Life Pause says, if there were not 3 of you running the store, say just one person, would you still aim for the same percentage of markup or a lower one, like the 3 times part out value? And the answer to that is we would totally still 100% stick, if it was just myself, go with the 3 times part out value. Because when you break it down, if I'm doing the work alone, it takes, let's say, 9 hours. If we all do it together, it only takes 3 hours. But then there were 3 of us working on it. So in reality, it still took 9 hours, for example. So at the end of the day, the 3 times part out value is something we still look for, whether it was 1 of us running the store or 10 of us running the store. Just because the time ends up, you multiply the time by the amount of people, and that's how long it would have taken one person to do it. So, the 3 times part out value is really what we try to go for. Obviously, if we can get way higher than that, that's definitely a goal. But the amount of people running the store has nothing to do with the profit that we're trying to make at the moment. Later down the road, when we're paying ourselves and stuff, that could come into play. But right now, not at all. It's just 3 times part out value. And also another question from Life Paused asks, do you know what parts and minifigs you've sold with the highest value? And I'll put it on screen, but we sold this one CMF minifig. It was the police officer, and I want to say he was like $20 or $18 when we sold him. And that was the highest, I think the highest paid minifig we have sold. Part, depends what you consider part. We had a train piece that was the train motor, or the train motor and battery box or something like that. And that one sold for a lot as well. But the highest small piece, like the minifig thing, was definitely that police officer. So I'll put that on the screen, like I said. But that was a pretty cool one. Ned's Brick Shop asks, when you part out a set that includes a sticker sheet, do you list the sticker sheet in your inventory, or do you apply the stickers to the parts and list the stickered parts in your inventory? Which one is more worth it in the long run? I can't answer which one's more worth it because we only sell the sticker sheets alone. We don't sticker the parts. If we stickered the parts, it'd be a pain. And then if the sticker's crooked, it looks bad then when you try to ship that to the buyer. I think technically it's kind of a used piece at that point. So we just sell the sticker sheets alone. And believe it or not, I'm surprised, but the stickers sell a lot more often than I expected. So stickers seem to sell, and the parts obviously sell without stickers regardless. The thing is, when you take that piece and you put a sticker on it, only, out of the 500 people who maybe wanted that part, now only 5 people want that part because it has the sticker. So I think it drastically lowers your ability to sell that piece. It might list for a little bit more, but in the long run, I would imagine selling the sticker sheets alone, they take up a lot less room than putting the sticker on the piece, and then having to store that in a separate thing because it's a brand new lot. You have the whole sticker sheet, that just goes in a drawer or wherever you store that. That doesn't take up much room. So I would imagine selling sticker sheets alone is probably more profitable in the long run, but I could be wrong on that. Let me know down below if you guys sticker your new parts with a sticker sheet or you put the stickers on the new parts, but we do not here at Just a Brick in the Bucket. Last question this week is from Doug, who says, how was the YouTube channel learning curve? As in learning how to manage having a channel. So this is something I had to think about the answer. And in terms of managing the channel itself, I don't necessarily think I have a difficult time doing that. I just essentially look at myself as a producer of this show, and it comes out 4 times a week. And I just continuously work towards this. In terms of finding the way to balance time and time management, I've never been great with time management. Anyone watching this who knows me is probably laughing right now, but never been great with time management, so it's always hard to try to squeeze shooting a video into the day. In addition to that, when we part out a set, if we're shooting it and we're doing a part out party video or whatever, it takes not a lot, but a decent amount more time to film it instead of just part it out. So there's all those little things we have to take breaks and like adjust the camera and be like, oh wait, let's redo that so it looks good. So if we factor all that stuff in, there's trying to balance the physical running of the store in addition to having the YouTube channel is a little challenging. Fortunately, right now I'm not insanely busy outside of BrickLink and a few other things I'm doing. So overall, I'm able to kind of still manage and for the most part keep up like at least 3 videos a week. And try to create more content and stuff. But as it becomes more busy, hopefully, probably next year at this point in 2021, as I become more busy, it'll be a little bit more difficult to balance the channel as well as the store, as well as everything else I'm doing. But learning curve wasn't too terrible. It was just, I'm always trying to improve, I think, with what I'm doing. So, yeah, I mean, like every video, hopefully. Well, not every video, but hopefully we're working towards something better in the long run. That's the goal with this YouTube channel. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 25 of BrickSide Chat. Hopefully you enjoyed the content or learned something from today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If it's your first time here, welcome. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below in the comment section. I'll answer them next week in episode 26 of BrickSide Chat. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next video.